have to define the URL. So here we are using reverse lazy. This will generate a URL using name. So what is the name of this is this TMP. Okay, so here I've given model name, template name, and success URL. Okay, right? So we need to create a template here, and this is a template. So what is the name of the template? Delete emp.html. Yes. Now in this, what you're trying to do is you're trying to define the confirmation. So here I'm writing a form. Here I'm writing the form. Here I'm writing the form. Okay, form action. I mean form method equal to post. Form method equal to post. And here I'm trying to define input type. Input type equal to submit. And value equal to delete. So you want to delete. You want to delete. And here I'm displaying the message saying that delete employee. So delete employee, whether you want to delete this employee. So if you click on delete, then it will delete it. If we click on delete, it will delete it. Okay. So if you click on delete, the request is sent to the form. Okay, view, the request is sent to the view, and that view will delete this employee. So that is when you click on which button, delete button. So that is when you click on which button, delete button. So here I'm writing CSRF token, right? So once you click on delete, the request is sent to this and delete the employee, right? So that is form method equal to post, and you're trying to delete the employee. You're trying to delete the employee. So input type is a submit and value equal to what here, delete. So otherwise you can move to the back. So if you click on back button or you put one link, so where you can move to the back, right? So okay, here I just take delete. Okay, so define the urls.py. Now where you try to define the primary key means always you're deleting it, delete emp. So you're deleting an employee using integer and using which one, primary key. What is the name of the captured parameter, pk, and this represent which value, primary key. So what is the name of the view is delete view. So try to define the view class name, and what is the view class name is delete emp view. So delete emp view. So here I'm using delete emp view as a view. Delete emp view as a view, right? So this is for deleting it. So after that, run the server here. Okay. So run the server. So after this, now you're trying to delete the employee by sending the primary key. So delete emp slash I said here 2. So input type. Okay, right now it's asking like delete employee. I said delete. Now the employee 2 is deleted here. See here, employee 2 is what here? Deleted. I try to give the employee number, and what is the employee number? I'm giving 8. So employee number 8. Now if I say 8, and if I say delete, now the employee 8 is what? Deleted. Suppose if I give the employee which is not exist. Suppose again I said delete 8. So it is immediately given. So this employee with 8 is exist or not exist? Not exist. Okay, but you have to handle. Okay, you have to handle this particular error by verifying is it this employees exist or not. But it will delete only the employees exist. But if employee not exist, you need to redirect. You need to redirect to another URL, right? So this is various approaches. So all these are different view classes. Okay, I said about different view classes. Now there is a generic view classes. All these are generic view classes, and even we have seen base view classes to perform different operations. Okay, so let us tell you. Let us see one application here where we'll try to implement all these view classes. Where we'll try to implement all these view classes, and this is delete. So deleting a record. So delete emp.html. Delete emp.html. Now this is delete emp.html. And you need to define the URL, and this is a URL pattern. This is a URL pattern, and this URL receive the employee number. So which employee you want to delete, you are sending that employee number. Okay, which employee you want to delete, you are sending that employee number. So this is URLs dot py. Okay, right? So this is how it has been done. Okay, now let us see the application where we'll try to implement all these operations like creating, updating, deleting, all these operations we'll try to implement in one small application. We'll try to develop a small application and we'll try to implement all this. We'll try to develop a small application. See, all these attributes, you can use it. For example, delete view. You have a delete view. So delete view. Now, if you see delete view, yes. So this is a class-based view, delete view. Now you can see all these are the attributes belongs to which one? Delete view. So there is a query set and there is a success URL. Okay, success URL. You try to define the success URL and template name. Okay, and then model name. And there is a primary key URL keyword argument. If you want to change the name of this URL argument, you can change it. But what is the URL argument you are given? PK. But instead of giving this PK, you can give any other name. Okay, right? So you can also change the context object name. All these are the predefined attributes which are there in what? Delete view. Okay. So if any, whichever attribute you want to change it, you can change it. Whichever attribute you want to change it, you can change it. Okay. Now you can see all these are the methods. Whichever method you want to override, you can override that method. Okay. So you can see get query set. You can override this method and you can override which method get method, or you can override which method post method. You can also override which method post, because you are sending a request method by you are sending a request by using which method? Post method. So if you want to do any changes in post method, you can do changes in what? Post method. So all these are predefined things in which class? Super class. And what is the name of this class is delete view. Getting or not? So it is a generic view class. It is a generic view class which you are using it to delete an employee to delete how many records it will delete? Only one record. It will try to delete only one record, but not multiple records. Now, this is a success URL. Means once you delete it, it will just move to confirm page, and where you'll select, okay, where you select whether you want to delete that particular employee or not. If that employees exists, then what will happen? It will delete it. If that employees exists, then it will try to delete. If employees not exist, then it raises what here? Error. Okay. Yes. So let us see one simple application where we'll try to implement all these views. For example, I want to develop For example, I want to develop, for example, I want to develop, okay, simple, okay, simple, which application? Banking application. I want to develop a simple banking application. Okay. So this application is used by the people working in a bank. This application used by the people working in a bank. Okay. So so the person who's working in a bank try to perform certain operations. So try to perform certain operations. Okay. So here, now I'm trying to build two models. Now here I'm trying to build two models here. Okay, so there are two models here. Okay, now this is what do you call it as account model. So this is an account model, and there is one more model, and this is called as a transaction model. So there are two models are there, means two tables. One is account table, and one more is a transaction table. And what account table is having is there is an account number, there is a customer name, and there is what here? Balance. If you want to add more fields, you can add it. Okay, but I'm trying to use how many fields here? Account number, customer name, balance. Okay, you want to add email, you can add the email. But here I'm not using any authentication and authorization. But later we'll see how to do this authentication and what authorization. Okay, so this is account model which consists of account number, customer name, balance, and one more is what? Email. And there is one more model which consists of account number and what you are trying to do, transactions. So there is a transaction type, and one more is transaction amount and transaction date. It means this is a master table and this is what? Details table. So you have a two tables here. One is master table and one more is what here? Details table. So this is a master table and this is what? Details table. It means whenever you do transactions, the transaction of this customer is stored in which table? Transaction table. Okay. Now in this case, this is called as a primary key. So what is the relation is one to many, and this is a primary key, and this is what here? This is which key here? Foreign key. This is which key here? Foreign key. Means whenever you do the transaction, it will refer to which one? Account. Okay. Now this is account and one more is what? Transaction. Okay. Yes. So what are the operations you are doing it? Now there is a accounts, and accounts you'll try to perform the operations like, so you try to use open account. So there is an open account, open or create account. Okay. And then update account means where you want to modify email. So that is update account, and view account details, view account details. Okay. And then deposit the transactions like, okay, deposit the transaction like withdraw. So deposit, withdraw, and you may generate reports. Okay. Transaction reports. Okay. Transaction. Okay. Transaction what here? Reports of a specific customer. Okay. Now these are the operations what you are performing it. So one is opening account, updating account, viewing the account, performing the operations like deposit, and performing the operation called which one? Withdraw. And then what you're generating your transaction reports. So open account, update account, view account, deposit, withdraw, and one more is a transaction reports. Now in this, I'll try to I'll try to use, okay, template inheritance. Okay, here I'm trying to use template inheritance. Here I'm using a template. So template inheritance. So template inheritance allows you to use the content of one template inside what? Another template. Template inheritance allows to inherit the content of one template into another template. What inheritance provide? Reusability. What inheritance provide? Reusability, and one more is extensibility. Okay, inheritance provide reusability and what? Extensibility. It provide the reusability as well as extensibility. How it will provide the extensibility? You can modify or you can add some new features to the existing template. By suppose if it is base class and derived class, how can you add some new features? By using method overriding. By using what here? Method overriding. Here also you can override the content of base class template within what? Derived class. Okay. So template inheritance allows to use the content of one template inside another template, so that you don't require to write the same thing again and again. You don't require to write the same thing again and again. That can be overcome by using what here? Template inheritance. So template inheritance, okay, template inheritance allows to use the content of one template, use the content of one template inside what here? Another template. So template inheritance allows to use the content of one template inside another template. So template inheritance provides two things. Template inheritance provide two things. One is called as reusability. One is called as reusability, and other one is called extensibility. So it allows to use the content of one template inside another template, and it allows to modify or add some extra features to the existing template. It allows to use the content of the template. Okay, that is called reusability. And even it allows to modify, it allows to add new features. It allows to add new features to the existing template without modifying existing template without modifying. So that is what you mean by extensibility. That is what you call it as extensibility. It allows adding new features and it allows using the content of the template, right? That is called reusability and extensibility. Then how one template inherits another template? How one template inherits another template? By using a tag. By using a tag, DTL tag. And what is the name of the DTL tag is? You are using one tag called which one? Extender. You are using one tag called which one? Extender. Okay. See, there are two tags are used. One is a block and one more is what? Extender. So DTL provide two tags. One is extend and one more is a, okay, block. Two tags you are using it. How many tags you are using it? Two tags. Okay. You are trying to use an extend and one more is what? Block. So extend tag extends a tag, and this is a tag. Okay. This tag is used to extend or inherit one template, one template inside another template. To extend one template inside another template. And what is the syntax of extend is? What is the syntax of extends is? You are writing percentage and extends and it followed by what name here? Template name. Okay, extends and it followed by what name? Template name. See what is the syntax is? Extends and it followed by template name. Which template you want to extend? Just give the name of the template. Just give the name of the template. Okay. Then this tag must be first statement. This tag must be first statement within what derived template. Within derived template or child template. Derived template or child template. Then how you add more content? How you add more content? Okay, you add more content by using another tag. And what is that another tag? Is a block. You add more content in the child template by using which one? Block. So block, so this block, so this block is just like a method. This block is just like what here? Method in the base class, which is modified in which class? Derived class. Getting on it. So more content is added, more content, more content is added within which template? Derived template by overriding. By overriding which one? Blocks. By overriding which one? Blocks. So this allows, okay, this allows extensibility. This allows what here? Extensibility. You want to add some new features. You want to add some new features into base class template. You want to add some new features into the base class template. Into which template? Derived class template. Then how can you add some new features? By overriding, by overriding which one? Block. By overriding which one? Block. If you want to add some new features, okay, used in both parent and child template. In the parent, it defines a section that the child can what? Override. In the child, it specifies the unique content for that particular section. Okay. Used. This is used in both parent as well as what? Child. This is used in both parent as well as what? Child. Okay. For writing the content, for writing the content or defining the content in child template or adding some new features to the child template exist in which one? Base template. So that can be done by writing which one here? Block. But you have to write this block in both the templates, that is in base template as well as what? Derived template or parent template, and one more is what? Child template. So what is the syntax of the block is you are writing a block like this percentage block, and you can define the block name. Percentage block, you can define what here? Block name. You can define the block name, but if there is only one block, you don't require to define the block name. If it is one block, you can override as it is, but if it is multiple blocks and each block is defined with some name, and there is a block, open with a block and close with what here? End block. So there is a beginning of the block and there is what here? End of the block. And this block you try to override in which template? Child template. This block you try to override in which template? Child template. So there is a beginning of the block and there is end of the block. So this is the beginning of the block and this is what here? End of the block. And this block is end, this is end of which block? You need to define the name of that block. You need to define the name of the block, and this section you'll try to override in which template? Derived template. This section you'll try to override in which template? Derived template. For example, you created one navigation. For example, this is one template. Okay, this is a template which is having, template means HTML only, right? This is having header and this is having what here? Footer. But which one is changing here? Content. The content changes from one template to another. But header and footer will be the same for all the Header and footer will be the same for all the template. Which one is changing here? Content. So will you write header and footer for every template? No. You don't write header and footer for every template. Instead of writing header and footer for every template, you write the header and footer in one template and inherit by what? All the templates. And which one you change it? Which one you change it? Only content. But how you change the content? By defining one block. How you change the content? By defining one block. Okay. Now let us see with a simple example I'll tell you, and then we'll try to implement in this application, because here I required a navigation and this navigation is having open account, update account, view account, deposit, withdraw, and one more is transaction reports. Okay, but this navigation is the same. This navigation is the same, but only the content changes. For different template, this navigation will be the same, but which one is changing? Only content. Because of that, so this header will be the same, but content changes. Content changes. Because of that, I'm taking this navigation as a base template and remaining are what? Child templates. So inheritance allows both the things, reusability as well as what? Extensibility. Inheritance provide reusability as well as extensibility. And here you can do a lot of things in inheritance. You can include the features of base class template within the derived class. You can also include the features of base class template within the derived class. So let us see here. Let us create one more. So because this has become very big, right? So create one project here. So create a project. So Django admin, and here I'm writing a start project. Okay, start project, and this is project 25. Okay, and what I'm doing is I'm trying to use template inheritance. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to create one template. So create a project and create application within the project. So right here Python manage dot py. Okay, start application, application one. So created project and created event application. So created project and created event application. Okay. Now what I'm doing is I'm creating one folder called templates. I'm creating one folder called templates. And in the templates, I'm creating one template called home.html. I'm creating a template home.html. Home.html. Now this is a template which is having, okay, this is a template which is having header and footer. For example, I'm writing a header. For example, I'm writing a header like this. So this header is a common, this header is a common for all templates. Okay. So here I'm creating a header by saying some h2, something like Nareshai Technologies. Okay, now this is a header. And at the same time, I'm trying to define what here? Footer. So where I'll try to define the address here. Okay, where I'm trying to define the address. Now this is, okay, okay, assume that this is the address. But here, this header and footer will be the same for all the templates. In my application, there is a multiple templates. In my application, there is a multiple templates. Okay. So where the header and footer will be the same, but which one is changing only content? Which one is changing only content? Now here, I just put some H3. So welcome to some Nareshai Technologies or Nareshai TE like this. I've given this. Now this is called as which template? Base template. Okay, I'll give the name as what here? Base template. So this is called as a base template. And this base template is the same. This base template is same. Okay. Okay, this base template is same which contain the header and what is that? Footer. But which one it changes? Content. Now the changes, the content changes from one template to what? Another template. Then how you change the content? By overriding the blocks. By overriding which one? Block. And here in base template, I'm creating one block. And what is the name of the block is? Some content. Any name you can give it. But if it is one block, you don't require to give the name. Now this is a beginning of the block. This is a beginning of the block, and this is what here? End of the block. So beginning of the block, and this is what here? End of the block. So there is a beginning of the block, and there is what here? End of the block. Okay, now I create one template. I create another template. And what is the template is? Okay, derived template or child template one. Okay, child one dot HTML. What I said here? Child one dot HTML. Now here I need to inherit. What should I inherit here? What should I inherit here? Base template. Into which template? Child template. Then how I am inheriting it? By using what is that? Extends. By using extends, you are extending which template? Base template dot html. You extended base template dot html. Okay, extends. Now this should be a first statement. It means the base template is inherited as it is in which template? Child template. It means whatever content is there here, whatever content is there in base template, this content is automatically inherited in which template? Child template. And in child template, I want to give my own extra data or extra information. In child template, I want to provide some extra information. Then how can I provide extra information in child template? How can I provide extra information in child template? By overriding. By overriding which one? Blocks. By overriding which one? Blocks. You can provide extra content or more content in which template? Child template. By overriding which one? Blocks. You override a block. So override. This is called as overriding. So this is a beginning of the block. This is a block beginning. Okay, this is a block beginning, and this is block ending. So there is a beginning of the block and end of the block. Now here I'll try to define. This is child one. This is child one template. So which one is override here? Block is override. It means you are inheriting which template? Base template. And you are providing more content or not? Yes. How can you provide more content in child template? By overriding which one? Block. So this is a beginning of the block, and this is what here? End of the block. This is a beginning of the block and end of the block. Then I create one more child template. I'm writing here child2 dot html. Then this child2. is also inherit from the same base template. I'm writing extends. Extends which template? Base dot. Okay, base dot what is that? HTML. Extends base dot HTML, and I want to provide more content. How can I provide more content? By overriding which one? Block. So this is the beginning of the block, and here I'm writing h2. This is okay, this is what here? Child 2. This is child 1. Okay, this is child 1 template or child 2. I just write here child 2 template. How you are adding more content? How you are adding more content? You are adding a more content by overriding. You are adding more content by overriding which one? Blocks. You are adding more content by overriding which one here? Blocks. So this is the beginning of the block and this is end of the block. This is the beginning of the block and this is end of the block. But without defining block, you cannot put more content into what? Child template. You cannot add more content into the child template without defining the block in which template? Parent template. I cannot write like this. If I'm writing this h2 child template, child 1 template, is it this will be added? No. This will not be rendered. This is not rendered as a part of which one? Child template. If you want to add more content, compulsory, you have to override. You have to override which one? Block. You have to override the block, right? Just this here. Go to where is that application? And in this, I try to create two views. You can create a template view to display the template, right? Okay. So from Django dot, what is that? Views. So views. So import. What is the name of the view? This is which views here? Views dot Gendica. No, not Gendic, right? Django dot. Sorry, this base views are in what? Hmm, core, core, I think. Core only, right? Core Django dot. Views only. So there is a view. Views dot. So what is the name of the view is? Template view. So where it is in, I think base only, right? What is the name of the view is? Template view, right? I'm using which view? Template view. This is template view is a class-based view. And okay, you can find this generic, sorry. Template Django dot views dot generic import. Import which view? Template view. Okay. And there is a child one. This is template, child template one. This is child template. This is child template one is which view? Template view. And you have to define which name? Template name. What is the template name is? Child1 dot html. Okay, there is a class. There is a class. And here I'm writing child template 2. And this is also which view? Template view. This is also which view? Template view. And define the template name. And what is the template name is? Child2 dot html. So there is a child1 dot html and there is a child2 dot html. So this is a child template 1 and this is a child template 2. And this both are which views? Template views. So child template 1 and child template 2. This both are template views, right? Then define the URLs. Now settings, install the application. And what is the name of the application is? Application 1. And define the template path. Define the template path, base directory, and where you find these templates in templates folder. And after that, define the URLs for this. Okay, from application1.views import. Application1.views import. Okay, child template 1 and child template 2. So define the path for this. So this is template 1 and this is child template 1 as a view. Child template 1 as a view. So comma, I'm writing a path and this is template 2 and this is nothing but child template 2, child template 2 as a view. Okay. So you converted class into a callable by calling which method? As view method. So run the server here. So python manage.py run server. So run the server here. So here I'm sending a request to the template 1. Oh, so one required argument. What happened here? See, what is the error is here? There is a beginning of the block and there is a end of the block. So what is the mistake we did here? Now there is a base template and block. So what it required? Block required one argument. Okay. One required argument is there. And what is the name of the argument? You have to give the block a name. So block name in the template. And what is the block name is some content. So there is a beginning of the block and there is what here? End of the block. So in child template, you should give with the same name. And what is the name of this is? Content. And what is the name of this is? Content. So you try to override. What you did? You try to override which block? You try to override which block? Content block. You try to override which block? Content block. You try to override which block? Content block. Okay. So it required one argument. Now you can see narration technology is child one template address. It means this is the same. This is the same. But which one is added here? Content is added. Header and footer is what here? Same. But which one is added? Content is added. Now this is a template one. But if I'm saying template two, this is nothing but template two. Template, sorry. This is a template two. This is a template two. Header and footer is the same. But which one is changed here? Content. So it is allows to use the content of one template. Base template is used in which template? Derived template. Suppose in base template, you have some content here. In base template, you have some content here. What is the content you have here is, so welcome. Okay, welcome to Naresh IT. Okay, so welcome to Naresh IT. Now this is a content. So this content, now see here, this content, is it this content is inherited? No, it is override. It is override. But even I want to include the content of which template? Base class template. I want to include even the content of which template? Base class template. And you can include the content of base class template by using which one here? Super. By using which one here? Super. You can use super here. What you can do is you can use a super, and super refers to which template? Super template or super class template. See here. You can simply use a super dot. You can use a super dot, or you can say block dot super. Which block you want to inherit? Just give the name of that block. Use this variable with a child block to append the content of which block? Parent block. Content of which block here? Parent block. So that you can define it by using which one? Block dot super. If you say block dot super, that will refers to which block? Super block. If you are writing here block dot super, but this is written in which block? This is written in which block? Content block. Then which one is inherited here? Which content is added here? Super block content. What is the name of this block is? Content. That is added here. Okay. Which content is added? Super block content is added. Now this is a template one. I just write a template one. What is the name of this tag is? End block is there, no? End block. So block dot super. Sorry. What is the name of this is? Block dot super. So always this block dot super will refers to which block? Super block. Means you can include the content of which block? Super block. See, if I'm not writing this, what will happen? If I'm not writing this, what will happen? This block is override. It means this content is added or not added? Not added. Is it this content is added or not added? Not added. This content is not added. This is modified. This content, this block is modified in which template? Child template. This block is modified in which template? Child template. But even you want to include the content of which template? You want to include the content of which template? Base template. It is as simple as like this. For example, in inheritance in Python inheritance, what you do it? You try to develop a class. You try to develop a class. What is the name of the class is? A is a class, and it is having one method called. It is having one method called M1. This is which method? M1 method of which class? A class. It is M1 method of A class. There is a class B. Inherit which class? A class. And here I override. M1 method is completely M1 method is completely what here? Override. This is which method? Overriding method. It means M1 method of base class is override in which class? Derived class. But you want to include even this functionality also. You want to include even this functionality also. Then how you are including this functionality? By saying super dot. Super dot, what is the method is? M1. If I say super dot M1, is it the functionality of this M1 method? Is it included in derived class or not? Yes. But if I don't write this super, what will happen? Completely override or not? Yes. It means this method functionality is completely what? Changed. Here also, you have a base template. Here also you have a base template, and this base template is having one block. it is having one block. What is the name of the block is content. What is the name of the block is content. And inside this block there is a content. Inside this block there is a content. What is the content is welcome to Naresh IT. There is a content. And what is the content is welcome to Naresh IT. This is a content which is there in which template? Base template. Now this is the beginning of the block and this is the end of the block. Okay, now in child template, this is child one dot HTML and child template is inherit. Child template is inherit. Child template is inherit. Which template? Base template. Child template is inherit which template? Base template. Now want to modify. Then what it is doing? It is overriding. Which one it is overriding? A block. It is overriding a block. And here, this is which block now? This is which block now? Override block. This is which block? Override block. It means is it base class template content is added or not added? Not added. That block content is not added. There is a beginning of the block and there is what? End of the block. So there is a beginning of the block and there is what here? End of the block. So there is a beginning and there is what here? End. So you are trying to, now suppose you want to include this content also. You want to include this content also in which template? Derived template content. Then how can you include that? By using which one? Super. By using block dot, what is the name of this is? Super. So what is the name of the block is? Then you need to write content dot which one? Super. So that will include the content of which class? That will include the content of which template? Base template into which template? Derived template. That will include the content of base template into which template? Derived template. So that is done by using this particular approach. Okay, right? So I think you understood this one, right? So inheritance allows two things. One is reusability and one more is what? Extensibility. But some error is coming, right? Super dot. We use same. Correct only. Block name. Block dot super. Oh, what is the mistake is it is a variable. I should say block dot super. In child 2, inserting variable. Now what is this block dot super? So here we try to include the content of yes. Now you can see welcome to Naresh IT and child 1 template. Child 1 template and then template 2 welcome to Naresh IT and this is what? Child 2. So it means base class content is added or not? Yes, with some extra features. So that is done by using one tag. Here you are also using one tag, insert tag, block dot super. This is inserting content. So this allows to add content of which template? Base template block inside what? Derived template block. Derived template block. So that is done by using block dot super. It is a it is a variable. Block dot super. Super is what here? Variable. You are inserting the content of which one? Base class template by saying block dot super, right? Yes, these are the tags which you are using it as a part of which one? Inheritance. What is the first one is extends. What is the second one is block. What is the third one is block dot super. Super is a variable. It is a variable. And how you insert value of variable? By using insert tag, insert variable tag or insert value tag. So that is with two curly braces and two curly braces. But this is a tag. This is a tag. What is the name of the tag is block. What is the name of the tag is extends. Okay, right. Then let me copy this and develop that application. Okay. So this is in views.html. So you require some number of templates. Now here I use base template, that is base.html. This is called as a base template. And there is another template which is called as child1.html. Now this is a derived template. Okay. And there is another template and that is child2.html. And this is another template. Okay. So I try to create how many templates? Three templates. One is base and remaining are what? Derived. Okay. Yes. Then anyway, you have to define what do you have to define here? URLs. Define URLs dot py. Define URLs dot py. Okay. Then after that, anyway, settings, you can do it. In templates, you have to define this template path. So this is in settings dot py. Define the template path and define installed applications, right? So now what we'll do is for our project, now this is our project, right? So this is our, now for this project, we'll try to develop a navigation. What will develop? A navigation. So this is our application. We are developing this application. What is our application is simple banking application. And how many models we are taking? Two models. One is account and one more is transaction. This is a master and this is details. This is a master and this is details. Means the transactions of this customer will be there in which table? Transaction table. And the balance get updated in which table? Account table. So one customer may have number of transactions. What is the relation here? One to many. What is the relation between these two models is many, right? So first what we'll do is we'll try to build a navigation bar. Okay. And that navigation is called which template? That navigation is called which template? Base template. Okay. So already base template is there. I'll try to delete these templates. Okay. I think this example is clear, right? So I'll try to delete these templates. And this is and URLs also. I'll delete these URLs. Okay. Because there's no child templates here. In settings, let it be. Okay. So I'll try to remove these templates. And template view is required for getting home. For getting which one? Home. Now, what is the base template now? Base template, I need to create one navigation bar. I need to create one navigation which consists of all these options. That is open account, update account, view account, deposit, withdraw, and transactions. Okay. Now we'll try to use Bootstrap. So CSS. So we'll try to use Bootstrap. So Bootstrap, we'll try to use it. And here, copy this link, CDN link. Copy this link as a part of header. Okay, copy the link. And what is the title is? Okay, simple banking application. Title is simple banking application. So now I need to create, what should I create? A navigation. Navigation means layout, uh, layout only. Tell me, layout, containers not required, right? Containers, where you go here? This is grid system. That is nothing but rows and columns. Tables. This is forms. And these are components. Here you have navigation bar. Nav bar. So select the navigation bar here, not forms. So there is a navigation and you have a different navigation. Now this is one. So if you want like this, you select this and with a drop down. So here you also have what? Drop down. And there is a one more navigation. And there is a navigation bar with this. Now let us see this. Okay, this navigation will take. Okay. Now copy this. See, you have a so many predefined home features, pricing, right? So there are so many drop downs, navigations are there. But here I try to select one navigation. Okay. Now this navigation I choose. Anything you can select. Okay. Anything you can select. So here I'm copying the content here. Now this is a content. Navigation bar. This is base. But here I don't want navigation brand. I just remove this navigation brand. I don't require navigation brand. Okay. And this is what button here? So this button, right? Okay. So even I'll remove this button. So I don't want to increase the code. Okay. So this is a navigation bar. Now this is current, active, and this is disabled. But I remove what here? Disabled. I remove disabled. This is a navigation link. And you try to define, yes, this is home, right? But home, let it be. Okay, this is active. But all are, I mean, first it will try to active which one? First one. Okay, so here I'm not defining the references. I just write here href is hyphen, right? So what is the first one is home. So what is the first one is home. Home is nothing but what you open. First one is home itself. But here I just write what is the first one is open account. And what is the second one is update. What is the second one is update account. And what is the third one is view account. You want to view the account details. And what is the fourth one is deposit. So there is a deposit. And what is the fourth one is withdraw. So here I write a withdraw. So there is a deposit and there is a withdraw. And this is generating which report transactions. Now, if you want to list, view account means displaying the details of one account, right? So this is the navigation, and this is called as which template? This is called as which template? Base template. Now, this base template is a common. This base template is a common for all templates. This base template is common for all templates, but which one is changed? Content. So here I'm writing a block. Here I'm writing a block. This is a block. Okay, I'm writing a block, and inside this block, you should display what here? Content. Inside this block, you should display what here? Content. The content should be displayed within the block. Content should be displayed within the block. Just give the name of the block. What is the name of the block? Content. Any name you can give. Any name you can give. X. What is the block name is X. Means you need to override which block? X block. If I write Y, you should override which block? Y block. But what is the name I've given? Content. Now this is the beginning of the block, and this is what here? End of the block. Now this is which template? Base template. Okay, right? Just to create, but this template is inherited by all other templates to generate the content. Now see here. So I'm writing a class. What is the class is home template, and home template inherit which view? Template view. What is the template name is? What is the template name is? Base dot which one? HTML. Base dot HTML. Just write the URL. Now from application one dot views. From application one dot views import which template? Home template. Okay. And path, I'm not defining any path. Blank means directly it will open home template. And this is home template as what here? View. Home template as a view, right? It means whenever you open or whenever you type the URL, so directly now you can see open account, update account, view account, deposit, withdraw, and one more is transactions. So if I click on open account, then it should display the form where you need to enter all your details. And after entering all the details, you should click on add. That is to open new account. Update account means it allows you to update email. It should not allow to change what name. It should allow to change only email. And view account is displaying the details of that customer. And deposit where you allows to enter the amount and perform the transaction called deposit, withdraw, and generating the seeing the transaction of a specific customer. That is done by using which one? Transactions. Open account, update account, view account, deposit, withdraw, and transaction. Okay. Yeah, this is a navigation. Clear? Okay. Now this is in active. Okay. But if you want, you can change that. Okay. Because it is in active, it is activated. But if I remove this, it is a navigation link. Okay. Now you can see all these are open account, update account, view account, deposit, withdraw, and transactions. Clear? What is here? Okay. Now I think you know this, because this is predefined CSS. This is predefined CSS, not what user defined. It is a predefined CSS. So predefined, you don't require to do anything. It is done by, yes. If you want, you can also define what you can define background. What you can define background. Okay, background is there for this any background. See, all these are supported content. Okay. See, this is predefined CSS. You need to read this. You need to read this because which CSS is for what? Okay. Now BG light means where is the BG light is used? Now this is background. So this is a background which is called as BG light. But you can also use the background BG light, and there is also spacing. Spacing is given. Okay. But you can use predefined backgrounds. Now these are predefined background colors. Okay. Whichever background you want, you can use it. So which background will use? Okay, all these are background, predefined background colors. These are defined, predefined background colors. Okay, all these are predefined. Now, whichever color you want, you can choose it with this name. This is a class selector. This is what here? Class selector. You can select primary, uh, primary. Okay, now this is a primary. Open account, update, view account, deposit, withdraw, and one more is what? Transaction. Okay. Then you want to change the text also, right? Text color. You can use a text color here. Text is what? White. I think where you can add this text color, right? We have to add here. Okay. इसीलिए मैं बोला बहुत टाइम लगता है यार ये फॉर्मेटिंग इफ यू वांट डू इट इट विल टेक लॉट ऑफ टाइम okay so I just use text body here white not here I think here anchor right here text white huh neighbor light we have to remove Gayapura no this bootstrap bg primary text white bg primary text white anyway open account update view just check this नहीं तो change करो take another color bg info you take okay instead of primary use what here info. So formatting takes some time. Okay, na? Yeah, this is open update like that. So the next one is now whenever you click on this open account, then I have to open one form. I have to open one form where I need to input details. Okay, where I have to input details, whose details, customer details, and then I have to perform operations. So tomorrow we'll develop a, but this inheritance you understood, and tomorrow I'll tell you complete process of this, and we'll try to add some styling. Okay, because you'll get some interest in doing styling and all the things. Huh? So tomorrow we'll do this, right? Today we'll stop it here and tomorrow we'll continue. Right. Thank you.